Does Valentine's Day have to be pink? Here is a set of end tables that I got online, and they were inexpensive. I want to say, they might have been a set for $40. I don't usually pay more than $40 for something to refinish, unless it's going to go in my house and I specifically want it. Then, the price is, whatever it's worth to me. It's MDF, and it's a laminate top. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with the top yet. I have a few ideas, but the bottoms will be painted and blended. So if you like blending, stick around for that video. And yeah, it's kind of around the time of Valentine's Day, so I was trying to decide on what color to do, but I just don't want to do pink. So let's do something fun. Hi, my name is Kat from Owling Dog. I love creative arts and restoring old furniture and other items. The time you spend watching this channel is appreciated. I hope you subscribe and like these videos, which helps circulate the content. Feel free to drop a comment. All of these are appreciated. Well, let's go see what's in the barn. Since I've already disinfected these tables, I'm going over it now with a little bit of vinegar and water, and then I'm going to rinse them well with just plain water. I also use this time to just check and make sure the legs are tight and to see if I have any big damage underneath, or if there are chips I need to fill. And then I will get there at some point. So part of the reason for going over it in such fine detail is it lets you have fewer surprises when you're actually doing the refinishing. So it's good to know what you're getting into, and this part can help you realize what the piece is going to need as far as treatments. It looks like that is a tiny bit loose, so I want to keep it, and I'll just add some glue there. It looks like both of them are maybe a little bit loose. And this, I can see that this is an MDF kind of material with some kind of laminate over it. These are some kind of inexpensive wood. The bottom it could be a piece of plywood with laminate over it, but you can see that the either the plies or some kind of veneer is coming apart here. So what I'm going to do right now in this position is I'm going to go around all the edges with a little bit of wood putty, just to make sure that I have a smooth surface that I'm working on. And that will be the first thing that I'll do. And then the second thing is I'll give it a good scuff sand on the painted parts. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with the top yet, so I'm going to hold off on the tops, but we'll do that. Hi. Time to go to work. Yep. So I have Antebellum Blue by Dixie Belle, and it's called Ho Hum by I Love Hue, both chalk paints. And I'm going to see what a little blend is going to look like. Um, yeah. So I'm going to start with the legs and upside down. Yep. Okay. So I have a detail brush just in case I need it. I have 3 round bristle hair brushes, round brushes, because I like to put on chalk paint with those. One for one color, one for the other color, and then one to blend. And a regular brush in case I want it, and that's the zebra. So yeah, let's see what the color looks like on there. My blending is a process that often changes right in the middle of it. I guess I have to slap paint on the project here and there, usually based on where the natural shades of light might fall on a piece or around the details, such as etchings and appliques, where I will usually add some shading. If not right away, at least by the end of my finished details. And like I said, it's a process. So it's going to most likely change as I feel out my piece. These pieces, even though they're inexpensive, have some nice details, and the shape of the legs are pretty, and they're fun to highlight with different shades of paint. Now right here you can see me adding a lot of that ho-hum color. I didn't end up keeping it that way, and you'll see I ended up using a lot more of the teal because it just looked better, and I used the ho-hum strictly for highlights. And this blend is a little bit tricky because the colors aren't related. You know, they're 2 different colors on the color wheel and not next to each other at all, so you do have to take some time to blend them. But they blend out really nice. Just, it takes a while, and I think you have to kind of enjoy the process. If you don't like blending, you won't like doing it. But if you enjoy doing detail work and going over it and over it, I couldn't even tell you how many layers of paint that are in a blend, because by the time you get done, I don't know, 6, 7, it's really hard to tell. Whereas if you paint one color, you can definitely just say, well, you know, I used a coat of primer and 2 coats of paint, or, you know, 3 coats of paint or 1 coat of paint. But blending is not like that. You just continue using paint over and over again until you get the shades and design that you're looking for. And right here you can see that big fluffy brush. I just love blending with those big brushes, and the bristles are really soft. Even though the brushes look like heck, I do try to take good care of these brushes. They're old, and I don't lose too many bristles anymore out of these brushes, because they are old and they're really soft. And every once in a while I wash them with a little bit of baking soda. I let them soak overnight, and that really, really softens them. I think the salt just adds some real softness to the bristles. An important thing to remember is to allow the paint to dry after putting it on. Even if it's not quite the look that you're going for, letting the paint dry will give you a better surface for clearer blending and helps avoid getting that muddy appearance. It's really a fine line between hiding the line of demarcation on the edge of the blend into the next shade while you make the observer wonder where one color begins and another starts. That's the goal. I like starting with a piece upside down so that I can walk around and around it and get a good visual of the legs. And also because I like to do the underside, and I'll do all the edges. Eventually they'll all be painted under there. You can see me doing the sides and underneath the top and just all around the MDF. That way, hopefully when a client comes to pick it up, and they'll put it in their car, and when they flip it upside down to get it in the car, it looks very neat and professional. And I don't know if you can see, once in a while with the camera, you'll see that there are old felt pads underneath these legs. I did change those and put on nice new ones. Here in the video, that color looks almost pale navy blue. It's not at all. It's definitely a teal. Now, by the time I do my staging pictures, I'm able to use my photo editor to get the color correction the way it's supposed to be, which I'm just not good enough with this video software to do that while it's recording, or actually while I'm editing the video. So you'll see that the colors just aren't right. But by the end, I hope to get the colors so that you can see exactly what they look like. Also, if you follow me on Instagram, I usually upload, a few times while I'm doing a project, so you'll actually get a better look there, or at least a different view. I think the blending is interesting because it looks nothing like this by the time I'm finished. I just ended up adding a lot more of the dark color and using some very subtle highlights. It's just kind of what the piece dictates. I really believe that when you start putting paint on a thing or you start refinishing it, eventually, if you keep looking at it, you're going to see exactly what it's calling for as far as color and hues and shades and stains, and even to the point of whether you want a shiny finish or a matte finish. It looks pretty, but it's still not the way it finally ended up. Thank you, Tony. Those furniture touch-ups were a Christmas present from my oldest. Now, I love, I love mending things and correcting color and I mean, I sure don't do a perfect job, but I like trying. And, you know, there were a couple of dings that I filled with wood putty on this piece and on the tabletops. And I wanted to get them looking as good as I could. And some of the pattern, after having to sand it a little bit, I sanded away some of the pattern. So here I'm actually replacing the pattern. And I'm just making little dots. That's what the pattern looked like to me. It looked like little dots in two different directions. And so I copied that, and it's fun. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with these tabletops. And after thinking about it, I just decided not to do anything. I mean, I fixed a little bit of color correction, and then I put 2 coats of acrylic clear coat in a matte finish. Actually, I'm sorry, in a satin finish. It's not my favorite product, but you know, the MDF with the laminate on it, I was so limited. I mean, I could have, you know, put a little tooth to the surface so that I could put a few coats of paint on it. I could have done that if I wanted to paint the tops. But I didn't want to paint the tops. I just didn't think they would look as nice. And then I thought about doing a little bit of gel stain, but then I just chickened out. I didn't think it would take to the top, so I just did a little color correction, and you can see it here. So here, I didn't have to put on clear wax because I already had a clear coat over it. However, I am going to put some decorative waxes in it. It's easier. You can control it better if you put on the clear wax first. And I left it for about an hour and then I buffed it. But that's in preparation for putting on the black wax and the gilding wax. I'm sorry, the gold gilding wax. That's black wax. It's Best Staying Wax by Dixie Belle. And you'll see here that that's going to make all the difference. It just gives it a lot of depth and dimension and really brings out all the details so pretty afterwards. And that's the King Gold by Pebeo. Thank you for watching this video. You watched me take a set of MDF end tables and paint them and decorate them to make them prettier. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll bring you in for a few close-ups, but what I did was I did a blend on the bodies. I didn't do anything to the tops except for mend them a little bit with the color. After I scuff sanded them a little bit, I took some of the color off the laminate. So I used some crayons and some pens and fixed that. There really wasn't anything else to fix on these. I did some gilding wax and some black wax, and of course I did the clear wax over everything. I did a coat of acrylic satin clear coat on the tops and on the bodies to protect the paint. And yeah, I think they came out kind of cute. So let me bring you in for a little bit of a close-up. Yeah, here they are. So they came out really cute. Anytime you put gold on something and black wax, it just takes it to the next level. And I even went down to the feet. You can see that there's a little gilding wax there, and there's even gilding wax along the edge of each of the tabletops. I had a really happy accident in that I was trying to cover a little scratch with some gold wax, and I just ended up putting almost a Nike swoosh on it. Not a Nike swoosh, but it was a happy accident, and so I did all four legs the same way. So you can see that the legs on the inside have these swooshes, or just a little bit of a, like I say, a happy accident. So yeah, I love the way they came out. Just very plain. Love the color blue, Antebellum blue, and ho-hum. And yeah, I think they came out really good. I mean, what else would you do with MDF tabletops with this laminate, right? It doesn't really leave you much variation to make them pretty. I love the highlights. So hopefully you can see that. Yeah, very nice. Okay, so watch a few close-up shots, and thank you again. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks again for watching.